So we can go to the last question, right?
Yes.
So the last question is kth smallest number in multiplication table. So we are given with three input variables, m, n, and k. So m and n are two values in like a multiplication table with the height m and with the length n. So we can see if the m is equals to 3 and n is equals to 3. So we created a matrix like this, and then we have a multiplication table for 1, multiplication for table for 2, and multiplication table for 3. So we have to find the kth smallest number in this multiplication table. And since the k value is 5, so over here the fifth smallest number is 3. So we have to return the fifth smallest number, that is 3. So let's go through the last example. So we have given m equals to 2 and n equals to 3 and k is 6. So we will go up till the second row, and we have three columns. So the multiplication table for 1, then 2 and 3, and again we have to find the sixth smallest number. So over here the sixth smallest number will be 6. So we'll be returning the 6. So just we have to plot a multiplication table, and we have to return the kth smallest number out of this multiplication table. Any questions regarding the problem description? Okay, so anyone who tried solving this or have some approach like how to go for it?
I will wait for others if they want to share.
Yeah, I saw some questions, something similar to this, which is like you have a shorted row and shorted column given, and you need to find an integer in there. And there was one like order of n square is like brute force for it, and you can do it in order of m plus n if you start traversing from bottom, something like that. So I was thinking in the same direction, and because we need not one integer here, we need the fifth element, kth smallest element. So we will think of something like heap, which will be storing k elements at a time.
Yeah, I'm also thinking somewhat like this. Like we can have a priority queue or heap something, and then we can go for this. Like we will iterate over the rows, and we will like 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go to the 2 ones are 2, then 2 twos are, then thrice, and then we'll pushing it to a heap, and then we will from there we can find like the kth smallest number.
So then let's say I'm looking for 9. Based on your solution, it seems to me it will be like m into n.
Yeah, it will be m into n.
Okay.
So I will be like traversing over each row, and then I will be pushing it into a heap, and then from that I can get the smallest number. I'm just thinking I haven't.
Do you need to put all the elements into the heap to find out k elements?
No, our heap size will be only k. So we will take, like in this case, we need the kth smallest. So we will take the max heap. And
yeah, exactly. But
and
what if in the later part we have a smallest one? So we should like have to traverse all of these.
So,
Would you take, yes,
no, I was trying to look at this problem, like, because your intuition is pretty good actually, because as soon as you say kth, you should think about heap, which is pretty good. Now, if you look at each row, so you see 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. We can easily say that each rows are sorted among themselves, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you merge a sorted array using heap if you think about it? Like that is also a very common question. You will just put like first candidate of the first row, second candidate of the, like first candidate of the second row and third candidate of the, sorry, first candidate of the third row into a heap. So you will just put 3 elements in your heap and you will see, okay, I want to find the 5th largest element, for example, in the first example. Can you go up? Yeah. So when you will pop out your element, can I do the screen share? Maybe I would be able to explain faster.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Maybe whiteboard. Oh. Okay. Clear should work. Clear all right. Okay. Same thing. So you have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, and 3, 6, 9, and K was 5, for example. What I'm saying, this is one candidate, this is one candidate, and this is one candidate because this array is sorted, this array is sorted, and this is also sorted. So if you have solved merge sorted array, that is the approach I'm trying to use. So my candidate in my heap will be 1, 2, and 3, the representative of all these arrays. And K is 5. I see, okay, let me pop out the smallest element. So I should also know from which array I removed this particular element. So you need to store that also, not just value. You should also store something like this. Hey, this one is from 0th index. This 2 is from first index of the array. And 3 I added from the second index of the array. This is your array index. Okay, so we popped out 1 and then we will add 2 from this array because there are elements I can add that. And my K now is, okay, I have finished 1 element. Maybe I just need to look at 4 more elements. Now you pop out 2. You can either pop out from this guy or this guy. So take any one. Maybe I'm taking from this one I'm popping out. So I added 4. So this is gone, this is gone. We have 2, 4, and 3 at this point of time. And K becomes 3. Next, we will pop out this 2 and we will add 3. Now we have 2 more elements to go. Now I am deleting this 3 and added 6 to my heap. So 1 more element to go. And then I delete this element. There is nothing, even if we are selecting for something like in this particular case, we are done because we reached to the last guy and 3 is the solution. But if you don't have anything more to add to that, you will just say, okay, nothing to do, basically continue going on. So this way, your heap has only this size at any point of time, right?
Yes.
So every time you do add, you are doing log of that, whatever is this value. You can say if the number of rows is m, then you are doing log m. And as many times you do that into log m. So that is one approach.
In the
Other could have
n log m, right? Something like that.
Yeah, if you are looking for the ninth last element, maybe.
Yeah.
Then you are doing it for how many? M into n times, maybe, almost.
Yeah.
So that into log m. And somebody can even ask you, hey, what if my row is so big, like 4, 5, 6, up to 10,000? Then you don't build the heap that way, because build the heap that way. Like you can choose which one you want to. Sorry, let me explain that thing.
Yeah, if column is more, you want to say
exactly. Yeah, if your m is big, then choose m. Choose n.
Yeah,
you can choose m and n. Which one you want to select to, because it is sorted in both the ways, basically.
Got it.
It actually doesn't matter any direction you take up, because your heap size will be same and your number of iterations will always be number of. That's the K size.
No, so what I am trying to say, you have
array index.
This is just 3. then I would
Mhm.
select my heap size like this, right? But if I have like, things like this, then I will select this as my heap size. I will not select this as my heap size.
No, your heap size will always be k, right? You don't need to select heap size based on rows and code. Yeah, I understand your iteration of what will be the next value. That will depend on the smaller size. That will be better if you have to take a smaller size. But heap will always be k size, right? Because anyway, you have to find the k largest elements or kth element.
No, then I think I couldn't explain it properly.
Yeah, he did it differently. The first approach we discussed was heap of k size. He did
Mm-hmm.
it based on row only. We are using sorting because we have given sorted thing here. That's what. Yeah, Roger, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
please go ahead. Sorry, if I
so
interrupted.
yeah, I think the recording will be published, but the idea is like I can control my heap size. I can choose either this one. I will never increase this heap size if I know that there are very less rows and very many like, columns. I would be greedy to choose the less value for my heap size. And let's talk about it in our maybe afterwards. That approach is very like, well known.
No,
Like,
I got your point. I got your point.
yeah, but in this problem, that solution doesn't work. So that's why, like, I want to tell you the other thing. Like, this is good, but if you see that number, let me try to share my screen. Maybe how do I do that? Uh, I have to do stop share, then I can share my screen. My
Yeah, you have to
Just go
stop
to
the
screen.
sharing.
okay, and then okay, share screen, and then maybe where is maybe here. Okay, somewhere I have done this problem. Did I do this one? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so two things. First of all, which is more important, anybody can see like, how binary search works, and this will give you a better like, algorithm because it's of log of whatever number of elements are there. But the thing is, why? You have to think about intuition, like why should I think about binary search? And that is more important. And so think about like, this problem. How can I get rid of this? Sorry guys. Okay, well, let me see the problem first. Yeah, see the limit here. The limit here was 300,000 m and n. So max value of m into n will be too big. Like it will not work with like a priority queue approach. Any n log n or even O of n will have tough time to, get this problem accepted. So that is one intuition. The other intuition is what could be the minimum or maximum value of k? I know the minimum value is like I want to find the smallest element. So that would be 1. And highest value will be m into n. That is like, that is the max. Okay, so far so good. If I want to search fourth largest number, it should be very close to my low number if we have too many numbers. If I want to search fifth largest number, it will be a little bit far from the left side. Can I say the same thing for any I plus 1th element when like, I'm talking about that? So yes, actually that is true. As the number like, grows, it goes towards right. So this is called like, a monotonic function. Like as you're growing it, it is going towards one end. Okay. So once you establish that fact, hey, this function is monotonic. I'm trying to search in a range where I know like if if I'm trying to search something and I know where it is going, which side of the extreme, I should think about if it is monotonous, I can make a decision every time I search any random thing. Doesn't matter what I'm going to find. The basic intuition of binary search should work. So far, so good. Any questions on the intuition part, basically? Questions? Because that was the most important thing. After that, I will give you a template most likely, which will work for many questions. Okay. So I will think maybe you understand that. By the way, I'm audible or not? I'm confused at this point of time.
Yeah, Roger, go ahead.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
clear.
Was on mute, yeah.
Okay, good. So now, see, this is a basic binary search. You get your low, you get your high, you find a mid, any random element. Basically, mid will give you binary search. This is what will change all the time. This will be your logic, which will change depending on the question. And depending on what you got, you will be moving either left or right. So you will do this thing, and you will return the answer. And here we are exactly doing that. I will try to explain you in this particular question. And luckily, I had solved that just one day back, another question on the same pattern. So I would share you that too. So, okay, we find any element like mid. So my range is suppose between 0 from 1 to 9. I'm searching suppose the fifth element. Okay, I will see, okay, suppose if I have found the fourth element, how many numbers are smaller than this number? I will do that count. You can do in any way, but this is the logic to find in a sorted like array or matrix. Can you find how many numbers are smaller than me? Not tough, because if I'm looking for 4, I can check, hey, all these are smaller than 4, and this is, let's call it smaller than equal. So these two are smaller than and equal than 4, and this is the smaller than equal to 4. So total number is 3, 2, 5, 1, 6. So I know if I go to 4, I will find 6 elements smaller than or equal to me. But I'm looking for the fifth element. So where should I go? Actually, I should go left towards left. So we'll just do that again and again, and eventually we'll reach to the solution. And what I was talking to you is, okay, if you see this, I solved 12 hours. That was my previous submission. This problem had exactly same problem basically. Let me show you.
We had a similar problem on the lead board also a few days back.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to tell that, see, things will be very similar once you have the intuition. You will calculate your end max or low and high. You are going to do the exact same logic, doesn't matter. Only your function, which is monotonic, check for that will change. I normally write it in a function so that I have a template. I know it will work most of the time. I don't worry about it. And I do the, this check, and then it's done. So take a look after this, this one, capacity to SIP package within D days. It's similar problem, but think more about why would you use binary search? That is the thing which takes more time to get to. Why binary search?
Sure.
So,
Can you paste that also after this meeting, maybe whenever free?
yeah, I will do that. I will post this problem.
Yeah.
Do you want me to post solution or you don't care? I can post both actually.
Yeah. Nice explanation. Thanks, Roger.
Yeah, no problem. So anyone has any questions?
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, your solution is very concise. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
There was a question similar to this few days back in the daily session also. K's smallest prime factions, and there was a good article shared on the Slack for that. I'm just sharing the link for that. That gives you a overview of this kind of problems where K at smallest in multiplication, addition, and all, and it tries to explain you different approaches that are possible there and why to choose one over the other. So probably it will be good idea to go through that and glance over all the questions that are shared there.
Right. Yeah. Also, like, there are not many ways to make your time complexity in, like, log time. So when you think O of n is not good enough, like your suppose interview is talking about, hey, O of n doesn't work. Can you give me better? What comes to your mind? For me, it will be binary search. What else do you know of O of log? Very few. Like, so you have a very selected set of things which you can think about. So that's how you reach to the possible, like, set of approaches. That is more important than solving a problem and getting it accepted. The intuition part, which I love.
Yep.
All right. So if no
Thanks, Roger.
questions, I will stop sharing and over to Asis.